guest today is Debbie Burgin. She's the author of a fabulous book called The Joy of X. Now, what drew me to Debbie was obviously the title of her book, because I thought it was very witty. And it's also, she's a divorce specialist, and she wrote the book due to her own situation that's happened throughout her life.
Just one day we were talking about, I was actually talking with a girlfriend about sex, and there's an old book called The Joy of Sex, and I was like, The Joy of X, that would be awesome, because being divorced isn't all gloom and doom. Like, you hear that someone is getting divorced and you think, oh my God, you poor thing. And it's really not that bad. I'm actually having a really great time. And I know a lot of women who have used their divorce to, make new lives for themselves, new and better lives for themselves. It's a great life. Yeah. I'm not saying you should gun for it, but no. You know what, if you're in it, you're in it.
But you've been divorced for 11 years, and I read in your bio that you said it took you about 5 years to kind of say to yourself, what am I doing? Like, why? I've got to move on. I've got to get things going here. So what happened at that 5-year mark to make you, change your whole outlook?
I think it takes probably 3 to 5 years to get through the emotional stuff.
Especially when there's children, because she has 3 children as well. So 11 years ago, your children were fairly young. Yeah. That's really difficult to all of a sudden feel really good about yourself, and you've got 3 little ones at home, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And I mean, you don't have time to think about yourself when you have little kids,
true.
Right?
Yeah.
So at about probably the 5-year mark, I just start to think, you get through the emotional stuff and you actually start to feel better about yourself. What do I like? Who do I want to be when my kids are grown and they don't, they're not around me anymore?
Well, it's interesting because it's not unlike being an empty nester when your kids finally do leave the home. And all of a sudden you're going, well, wait, I've been there for my kids. What about me? Now what am I going to do after the kids leave? And it's the same thing in a divorce. If you're there solely for your kids without giving yourself anything back, you're left kind of with the dregs of the leftovers. Yeah. And there isn't much left over, really, is there?
Yeah. And by the time the kids are, they're 18, 19, you don't want to start then. You don't want to start figuring out who you are and what you like then, because then you feel like, you know what? Half of your life is gone. Mm-hmm. What do you do now?
Yeah. What was the final breaking point for you to actually say, I can't do this anymore?
Probably for the last year, we argued a lot. And one night we were having another one of our spirited discussions. And my daughter, it was probably 2:30 in the morning. And our daughter, who was 10 at the time, she came out of her bedroom and she started yelling at us. And she said, will you guys quit it? I'm trying to get some sleep. And we were both like, oh my God. Like, wow. I thought, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, you know what? I would rather be in a peaceful one-parent household than in a 2-parent household, with 2 parents who are constantly at each other's throats. Yeah. Like, if your kids never see affection, or they never see that you relate like a husband and wife, mm-hmm. they learn that when they get into relationships, they think that's normal.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
A lot of kids think things are normal that came from that sort of bad marriage. And the people that hang on to that bad marriage, this is what you're teaching your kids. So think about that. We want to sort of change that concept that it's not always great to stay for the kids. Okay, so apart from writing the book, The Joy of X, Debbie is also an amazing woman in other areas, and she is the founder and editor-in-chief for Glam Canada magazine. Now, how did this start?
I'm a fashion junkie. I love clothing. When I was 18, I moved to Toronto from Winnipeg. I moved to Toronto to go to school, and I did fashion design, and I designed clothing. We designed the line and the whole deal. I love fashion, and though I love what I do, I love writing and all that other kind of stuff. The fashion kind of, it lets me indulge in the creativity.
Mm-hmm. How long has it been around, the magazine?
Glam Canada magazine has been around for almost 4 years. It's probably been 3 years.
And is it strictly online?
It is strictly online. I don't want to go into print.
Okay.
Too much.
So online's where it's at. So you're actually ahead of yourself back then 4 years ago.
You know what? I'm a nerd.
As much as it's difficult to get over divorce, there is life after divorce. And you really, really want to try new things. Don't get yourself stuck in a place where you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. I mean, look what she's done. I mean, it's amazing. And raising 3 children.
I'm a divorce coach, and I have female clients, but I do have a few men. And I say the same thing to men that I do to women. It is about figuring out what works for you, and don't internalize the emotion. Like you think, you know what, he's leaving because, or she's leaving because she doesn't want me. I'm not good enough. What's wrong with me? That's that's the crux of how.
Don't you think men feel the rejection even more?
Oh God, yeah.
Because
it's the ego.
Yeah.
Right. Put aside the ego. Let that person go and do what they need to do for them. It is. You have to start thinking in terms of, okay, that's fine. Maybe I'm not it. It's not me personally, but they want something different.
Yeah.
It's not that there's anything wrong with me. They want something different. And you know what? If I don't have that something different, then I need to go figure out what I need. Yeah.
But as Debbie uses this line, shedding the divorce skin, and I love that line because basically that's what it is. You have a skin that surrounds you for a while when you're dealing with it. It can be anger, it can be insecurity, it can be, oh God, many different things, right? And you shed that, go out, do what this girl's done here. She's a freaking you're a divorce coach, you're an author, you have an online magazine, she founded an editor-in-chief, she's raised 3 beautiful kids who are fantastic, and she's not stopping yet, and she's going to do some shows with me too. So everybody out there who's gone through a divorce, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Anyway, on that note, thank you so much for coming. Tell us where to find your book quickly online.
You can find The Joy of X on Amazon.com, or you can go to my website at thejoyofx.net.
Anyway, thanks so much for listening, everybody. Tune in to the show next week because we're going to have some more interesting topics coming up. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week.